Good morning, everybody. To all our taxpayers, ladies and gentlemen, let me say it's a great pleasure to join you this morning as we celebrate the 16th consecutive year, the exemplary conduct of our country's most distinguished taxpayers. These taxpayers have demonstrated through their actions that it is possible to run a successful and profitable business while upholding the principles and values that promote patriotism and a sense of national pride. Our Constitution, ladies and gentlemen, has guaranteed all the noble goals and aspirations held dear by the people of this republic. However, it is important to underscore that these goals and aspirations can be realized only if the state has sufficient financial resources to execute the required development programs and projects that it has laid out. Indeed, taxes are the fuel for the development engine. And as an independent and sovereign state, and in order to ensure that we remain respected as such, we must strive to finance our development agenda from as much as possible our own domestically generated resources. Therefore, as we all know, the rallying call adopted by our own Kenya Revenue Authority, tulipe ushuru tujitegemee, is very apt for a free and democratic state such as Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, let me underscore a fact that sometimes we intend to overlook. Our ability as a nation to collect and administer taxes has been one of the most visible hallmarks of our status as an independent and sovereign nation. It has enabled us to chart our own course, determine and execute our own priorities, and to be proud and a free country that is admired and respected on the international stage. This occasion, therefore, fellow Kenyans, is not just fitting as we celebrate large taxpayers, but indeed as we celebrate each and every single Kenyan who is faithful to the constitutional call for playing their part in nation building by paying their proper share of taxes and paying these on time. On this occasion also, we recognize the professional tax agents and advisors who guide taxpayers into full compliance with the law. And of course, we also salute those of our tax officers who administer our tax system with integrity and professionalism. And I want to guarantee you that these are the majority, because the minority, chuma yao iko motoni. Ladies and gentlemen, I note with great satisfaction that Kenya's tax collections, as has been stated by the chairman, has more than doubled since 2013, from 707 billion Kenya shillings to 1.58 trillion as of the financial year 2018-19. This is an impressive performance in tax collections, and it has not been by accident. It is a result of deliberate set of actions executed by the Kenya Revenue Authority, and for that, Mr. Chairman, I congratulate you, your board, and indeed the new management for the improvement and the significant improvement in voluntary tax compliance and accurate self-assessments by millions of ordinary Kenyans. And indeed, as we have noted, the administrative costs as a result for collecting these taxes has also reduced. Some of the actions taken include the use of advanced scanning technology at our ports of entry, to the operation of the new one-stop border post and the upgrades made to the ITAC system to roll out the new integrated customs management system, placing emphasis on automation of tax processes and procedures. My administration is well aware that for us to maintain the desired growth in revenue collection, we must continue to take additional measures to improve the operating environment for taxpayers. And we have in this regard taken bold steps since 2013 to make it easier to do business in this country. We have strived to ensure that our macroeconomic environment remains stable, and we have been investing in critical economic infrastructure such as roads, rail, port improvement, energy generation, and we have continued to put in place supporting legislation and institutional frameworks to ease the regulatory regime and indeed to remove unnecessary bureaucracies. As a result of these measures, as the recently released report on the World Bank Ease of Doing Business have shown, Kenya has been placed at position number 56 compared to position number 136 in 2014. There is, however, still much work that needs to be done on this front. But I want to assure each and every one of you that my administration shall continue to implement business-friendly policies that will make it easier for businesses, both domestic and international, to thrive. We commit to do this because we know that as you thrive, you create jobs for Kenyans. It means more tax collections, and no doubt, more social economic development programs and projects to improve the well-being of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, even as tax collections have increased year on year at impressive rates, we all know and are well aware that only a small segment of Kenya's tax potential has been tapped. There is still room for improvement through expansion of the pool of players, closing of leakages, aggressive identification and elimination of tax evasion schemes, and easing self-assessment and voluntary compliance procedures. My administration has continued to facilitate increased investment in the acquisition of skilled tax personnel, training, technology, and this, I believe, will make the Kenya Revenue Authority one of the leading tax administrators on the African continent. The digitization program that my administration has also embarked on will also ensure that the net closes on a much wider base of Kenyans so that each and every one of us can pay their rightful share. To scale further the growth in our tax revenue, which is not a matter of choice, other critical institutions in the tax administration chain must also up their game and endeavor. They must discharge their mandates in a manner that supports rather than limits the efficacy of tax administration. Indeed, I've been made aware that over 1,000 legal cases with disputed tax of over Kenya shillings 300 billion are awaiting hearing and determination at the Tax Appeals Tribunal and other superior courts. The majority of these cases have been pending for more than 2 years, representing a significant bottleneck in the tax administration process. I call on the judiciary, if they so desire, to strive to determine expeditiously tax disputes without fear or favor. Both the taxpayer and the tax authority deserve quick and efficient hearings so as to know the outcome of their cases within the shortest time possible. And to that end, We now have a new tax appeals tribunal, and I want a report from you within 3 months of what you have done to expedite those cases, failure to which, as I have always reminded each and every civil servant, hamna shida, Wakenya ni wengi ambao wanagojea hizo makazi. 3 months, my friends, and we want it done. I also urge the Kenya Revenue Authority to do more to sensitize our taxpayers on the availability of alternative dispute resolution avenues, and to do more to facilitate timely resolution of disputes outside the lengthy and sometimes very expensive routes of the court corridors, where the taxpayer has not knowingly, and I repeat, has not knowingly engaged in tax evasion or other criminal conduct, and where the taxpayer has a demonstrable prior record of good tax compliance, and where there exists either sufficient mitigation or an arguable ambiguity, it may be better, Mr. Chairman, for the Kenya Revenue Authority to meet the taxpayer part of the way and deliver immediate tax collections rather than awaiting the outcome of a lengthy adversarial process that may be subject to further lengthy appeals. Hakuna haja ya kutesa mtu ambaye amefanya makosa. Kama amefanya makosa kidogo na hakuwa amefanya kwa sababu alikuwa na nia ya kuiba, jameni, ketini, muongee, musuluhishe na tuendelee mbele. Really. We must not make every business a criminal. No, they are not. They are not criminals. We know the criminals. Yeah? They are not the criminals. So where we can sit and discuss, let us sit and discuss and find solutions and move forward and allow the businesses to continue with their activities as we move in all other cases, and in particular where there has been tax evasion or other criminal conduct. Bwana Kinoti na my friend Bwana Haji, fanyeni kazi yenu na nyinyi, because the law must follow its natural course, and this we must do. In recent months, the Kenya Revenue Authority has increased prosecutions against tax evaders. Going forward, the professional advisors and facilitators of tax evasion who enable tax evasion will also come into focus and face prosecution. Tax evasion will and must be fought on all fronts. My call, therefore, is on all taxpayers to voluntarily come forward and regularize their tax positions rather than awaiting the coming storm. We are particularly keen on hearing from whistleblowers who are able to give the necessary authorities accurate and compelling information that yields additional tax collections. And to that end, I direct the National Treasury to re-examine the reward system contained in the Kenya Revenue Authority Act with a view to significantly enhance it and therefore empower the KRA to boost further the receipt of actionable intelligence on tax evaders. For far too long, tax evasion, unfortunately, has been glorified in Kenya. Far too many Kenyans feel justified to cheat their fellow Kenyan in paying less than they should into the public coffers. Yet despite this behavior, the very same still expect world-class roads, quality healthcare and education and other public services, not appreciating the fact that these public goods and services are paid for out of tax revenues. This situation, my brothers and sisters, is untenable and will not be allowed to continue. So in this regard, I hereby also direct the National Treasury, the Kenya Revenue Authority, the Office of the Attorney General, and all other agencies to review and make recommendations that will strengthen the tax enforcement legal framework. The KRA must be given greater powers and authority to A, address tax evasion, to expedite the dispute resolution process, 3, to provide for mandatory payment of part of the tax in dispute where there is an appeal by a taxpayer against the decision of the tribunal. In addition, the authority must be empowered to impose greater accountability in terms of fines and liability for taxes with respect to professional advisors and agents who provide assistance for or enable the deliberate non-payment of taxes. And a draft bill to that end will be placed before Cabinet within 120 days from today. Further, I do direct that the Kenya Revenue Authority, in consultation with the Ministry of Interior and coordination of national government, bring into immediate operation those provisions of the current law that empower duly authorized officers of the Kenya Revenue Authority, while performing their statutory duties, to exercise the powers, privileges, and rights and protection of police officers. Distinguished taxpayers, ladies and gentlemen, we are today thanking the exemplary taxpayers, and we are feting them through their studious payments into the public coffers that has allowed this nation to achieve much and to put in place the foundation of even greater prosperity in years to come. All of you have played a vital role in the realization of the government's development agenda, and I urge all taxpayers in our country to emulate you in this regard and to seek to join you here next year. As I close my remarks, I wish to say that as a government, we don't pride ourselves as the only ones who have good ideas. We're not. There are others who also have good ideas. When it comes to both tax administration and other issues, we also need to hear from all stakeholders on what they consider we should do to improve the efficiency of tax collection in our country, Kenya, to ease compliance, and also to address areas of revenue leakages that limit the growth of our tax base and collections. I am aware indeed that the Kenyan Revenue Authority and the National Treasury are in the final stages of developing an upgraded platform for engagement with taxpayers and stakeholders, so as to ensure that we receive comments and ideas that enable us to improve our tax policy and administrative systems. But even as that is being done, I also urge all taxpayers and stakeholders to utilize the existing avenues of engagement with the KRA and the National Treasury, as well as other bodies such as Parliament who are here represented, so that we may achieve our shared goal of a tax administration system that is fair, that is efficient, and that is capable of yielding the highest possible collections at the least cost. Finally, let me take this opportunity to thank the Kenya Revenue Authority, the National Treasury, for making Kenya a continental leader in tax administration, and indeed to all our distinguished taxpayers present today, and also the many millions of Kenyans who pay their taxes across our country. It is the tax that you pay that will enable all of us, as a nation, realize our Vision 2030 dream of a prosperous and equitable Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to conclude by adding 3 points, if I may. One, we're not adversaries. We are one in the same thing. We want to ensure that you who do business in Kenya from the micro business person at the kiosk level, to the farmer, to the large industries. You are the engine that allows us as a country to achieve our social economic development. It is our responsibility to facilitate you. It is our responsibility to ensure that we provide you with the roads, the electricity at affordable rates, and all other services that you need to ensure that your businesses thrive. Because as they thrive, we create jobs. As we create jobs, we increase prosperity. As we increase prosperity, we eliminate poverty, and we have a country that each and every one of us, regardless of their station in life, can be proud of. And it is true, and this is the most unfortunate part, that a few of us, a very small few, who either use positions of authority or access to positions of authority to abuse the system. And this is a most unfortunate thing. And we abuse a system and thereby build a principle where wrong things are encouraged. Ladies and gentlemen, the government belongs to you. You do not belong to the government. And I want to make this very clear. Please, we are now focusing ourselves on creating a system that is going to be accountable to you. I can proudly say that slowly but very surely, we are putting in place men and women who have no fear of authority and who only understand that they must do the right thing and do it with integrity. Do not allow a KRA officer to come and sit behind your table and tell you, don't do this, I'll show you how we'll fix it. Nakwambia ni jameni, those days are over. Don't put yourself in a mess. Don't put yourself in a mess unnecessarily. It is better you go down here, not too far away from here, yeah, and report. And I promise you, you will find eager and ready ears who will tell you, ati nani, na alifanya nani, njoo. And you will see those people being punished. You will see those people being punished. I won't say you'll see them being prosecuted, that belongs to somebody else, but you will see them being punished. And they will not be in those positions. Do not be fearful anymore of government. Do not be fearful of being intimidated by anybody. Don't agree to pay, as the Director General himself has said, a shilling more than you should. But in the same breath, don't pay a shilling less than you should. Yeah? And I'm certain that that way we shall be able to move together. I can see here we might be fitting some government bodies, but equally we will punish government parastatals. Can you imagine somebody who has worked for a whole month, amelipa mshahara, kwa paycheck yake imekuwa deducted PAYE and all other statutory deductions. Alafu kuna MD wa parastatal ama university na amekata pesa ya mwananchi wa kawaida ambaye anafagia ofisi yake. And then they don't remit that money. So that person has stolen from two people. First and foremost, you've stolen from the government. Secondly, you have stolen from a poor, innocent individual who has already been deducted their fees. My friends, let those ones be the first kuingia pale mnawapeleka. Hawa wacha wakue kwanza. Na ndio watu wajue, if we can do it for our own government ministries, if we can do it for our own government parastatals and all government bodies, then we are being fair. Then we are being fair. Yeah? You see? Ukienda kwa PSC uone Parliamentary Service Commission imekata watu pewa hii na haijalipa, Angwenyi yuko hapo, deal with him. Ukikuja State House uone tumekata lakini hatujalipa, deal with them. What is the problem? It is your job. Yeah? And that way we set in place a process that shows that nobody, no one is above the law. Finally, I just wanted to comment on just one other thing, and that is, we must be friendly, as I have asked our friends here. We can't criminalize everything. Ati mtu wa KRA akionekana, kazi imefungwa, watu wamebabaika, wengine wametoroka kwa madirisha kwa sababu hawajui ni nini. That should not be the relationship between the taxman and his client. It should be actually friendly. Yeah? Somebody could have made a legitimate mistake. Sit down, discuss, agree, yeah, and find a solution. Don't weaponize KRA as a tool to say wewe utaniona. Sasa unanikuona kwa nini na mimi nafanya biashara yangu? Yeah? Let us not criminalize business. Yeah? And where people have legitimate issues, be understanding, be the one to be understanding. Na uambie, okay, nimeona hapo ulikuwa una calculate namna hii kwa sababu ya hii, kweli hiyo ni makosa genuine, usirudie tena, lakini sasa tuketi utanilipa hii. Okay? And next time round, that person won't repeat that mistake. Yeah? Kwa sababu sasa akirudia, si utamwambia wewe si nilikuambia last year, sasa jamani nini ilifanyika? Yeah? You see what I mean? Yeah? We are also trying to be overly efficient, like I've been seeing and I've been noting when we're now looking at customs, collections, and all of this. We know that there was a lot of evasion. We know that there was a lot of avoidance that was taking place at our port. But maybe, from what I've been hearing, some of the measures that we have taken also have been punitive. They are denying and delaying ordinary good business people from going about their issues. So, kama ni hii mambo ya pre-shipment, if it's not working, Bwana Chairman, DG, jameni, ketini na wao, kama pre-shipment imelete shida, haja yako ni kucollect ushuru. Find another way, but make it easy for them to do business. Yeah? Make it easy. Yeah? For them. To get it to Musijali. Because the more we facilitate people to do business, the more we allow people to engage in proper business practices, the more we allow them to engage us, I promise you, the more taxes we shall collect from these good people. Yeah? So let's make it a partnership, a true partnership. And as we do so, let us also work together with them to weed out those people who live in briefcases telling people, kuja kwangu, mimi nitakuonesha njia ya kusuluhisha hii. Those are the ones we need to sort out. Na hii wasee wanajua vile tumekubaliana. Kwa hayo machache na mengi, kwa wenu wote ambao ni Wakenya, ambao wanalipa ushuru kila siku na wanatetea na wanalilia nchi yao kila siku. Nasema Mungu awabariki, Mungu awalinde, tuendelee kufanya kazi pamoja. Asanteni.